Good and welcome to Henzi tutorial. In today's video, you will see how to create your own AI story from scratch to finish. And to carry this out, we just need a couple of tools. First is your AI chats. We'll be using ChatGPT here. Your text to image generator. We'll be using ImageFX here. Google AI Studio, which we'll be using for generating the voiceover narration. Your video editor, example Premiere Pro or CapCut. Then you will need your Notepad or Google Docs, which you would use in keeping your scripts and all that. But if you've been following this channel or you feel you want to learn more about creating AI stories, then why don't you click on the subscribe button? So the first thing you'll need to do is in creating your story. For example, in this video, I already have my story all written out. I have my script all written out. But the first thing I need to do is I need to create my scene prompts. The purpose of the scene prompt is that it describes every scene in your story. Maybe your story is 3 pages or 4 pages. Every scene has to be described. So I need to go back to ChatGPT and I tell it to please give me scene prompts for my script. But while doing this, ensure the characters remain consistent. The reason why I'm asking it to create consistent character for me in the scene prompts, it's because this will help me when creating, so I have consistency across all the scenes. After doing this, there's something else again which you still need to do. And so, after giving ChatGPT this prompt, the next thing we want to do is we would have to copy our script, which you can see mine is already on a notepad. I'll copy my script and then I'll paste it, following the instruction. However, I already have a custom GPT running for this prompt, meaning I created one myself. You can also do so by using Ctrl+Shift+I and then, telling it precisely what it is that you want. So for me, it already knows precisely my taste and how I want things to go. So when we talk about the consistent character or we want consistent character in the scene prompts, what it means is that we want the faces to remain almost the same or the same, and it shouldn't be changing or varying with various scenes. And one way to do this is to ensure that the clothes, the shoes, the eyes, the color of the hair, and a couple of other things, you are very specific with them. So you can open another tab, go over to ChatGPT, and then proceed with creating your character prompts. Now, the same way you wrote out the instruction for the scene prompts, go over and tell ChatGPT, please, can you create a scene for me? Can you create consistent character for me based on my script? So your script already has people mentioned and a couple of other things. So it knows exactly, the AI can tell you precisely how these people will dress and look. And if you feel there's something you need to edit about any character, please go ahead and edit it. So once the AI is done creating it and your consistent character and the scenes have also been created, the next thing that you need to do is you need to get out your notepad and then paste everything that's both the consistent character in one notepad or one note and then the scene prompt in another. You can also be very specific about the number of scenes that you want it to create for you, whether it's 10 or 15 scenes, depending on how much you want your scenes to be changing over the voiceover that you'll be using. So, a quick question. Why would I need both the character prompts and also the scene prompts? So when creating a consistent character in the scene, let's imagine we have both John and Daniel together, both of them inside a car. My scene prompt is going to make mention of John. That's what makes it consistent. And also going to make mention of Daniel. That's what it will not just say a man and another man. So what this means is every single time that I'm going to make use of Daniel, I need to describe Daniel. So for every single time that I'm doing this, I definitely need to describe Daniel. What's Daniel putting on? So when I'm trying to create my image, what I simply need to do is I need to fix in Daniel characteristics, put in John's characteristics, and also put in the scene prompts. So with that, it's very easy for me to create my images, and as much as possible, they are still going to stay consistent. Also, don't forget, if you want this to be very easy for you, you might most likely have to set this up in your custom GPT. And I already have a video for that. I will drop it again in the video description so that you can, after watching this, and perhaps I'll also put it at the end of this video, so you can easily see how you can create your own custom GPT. And this is way, 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 way beautiful. So over to image creation using ImageFX. When creating your image using Google ImageFX, a couple of things that you need to take note of. I've already explained to you that yes, you need the same prompt, and at the same time, you also need the character prompt for each individual. So if you have up to 3 or 4 characters, it's very much possible for you to have them inside your scene or image. However, you don't just copy things blindly. You still need to understand exactly what your storyline is saying. Because when you don't understand what your storyline is saying, you most likely might have people who are not necessary. At the same time, it's also very much possible that your story needs to have a group of persons, but only 2 persons are made mention of in your scene. For instance, Jean-Yi stands calmly. The next person that is being mentioned is Li Zongyu. And then perhaps his girlfriend Zhang Weiwei. 3 persons are being mentioned in the story, but there's still a great possibility that you might still need other bystanders alongside or something to be happening behind the scene. So you might want to keep some persons behind the scene, but you need to be descriptive with your prompt when doing this. So you will need to copy the 3 main characters, their characteristics, and bring them in. But remember I told you that you're supposed to use your ChatGPT or Chat AI to create the characteristics for this individual. So if you have these people, and one of the things that you're going to notice that the ChatGPT is going to do for you, it will most likely talk about a pose or a particular clothing they are wearing. So for instance, the clothes that was fixed there, it's supposed to be a combat wear or something. But this person is in a bathtub or this person is in a hot spring. The person cannot be putting on those clothes. So most likely you might want to say the person is in his underwear in a hot spring or in the river, depending on the scenario. So one thing is key, you need to know your story, you need to understand how everything is working, and then edit your prompt to fit into that particular scene from your story. Having said this, you can go ahead to create your image. But lest I forget, there are still a couple of characteristics you need to make use of. If your image is a realistic image, you need to put it there as part of the prompt. A realistic image. Is it 30 mm, 15 mm for your camera? How do you want the camera view to look like? Do you want a wide angle shot, an overhead shot, a close-up, or a medium shot? The types of shots that you take or you write down in your prompt would determine effectively how your scene comes out. So you need to understand the bits of these little things I made mention of. The lighting, do you want the lighting to be natural? Do you want it to be a bit faded because of the environment you found yourself in? Is it a cave? Is it outside? Is there winter? Is there sunlight? If your story is obviously about winter, then you most likely might want to include that in the prompt so the AI knows how to generate your image effectively. Once this is done, look at a couple of images that it has generated. If it still does not suit what it is that you want, you can re-edit your prompt and then download the best one. But one of the things I noticed is because I used a custom GPT in creating my prompts, I had most likely similar images. And so when I was done, I clicked on download and I saved it. You move over to the next prompt, you copy the prompt and you paste it, and you generate the image. But lest I forget, there is something that is still very key and you need to understand. When creating a new scene, there is a great possibility that the previous scene is still very much needed. Let's say, for instance, scene 1 describes the environment, while scene 2 is talking about individuals in that environment. It then means I'm still going to keep scene 1 in the image prompt while I am bringing on board scene 2, so that the environment and the people talking go hand in hand. It's also very much possible that sometimes, because of how the story is playing out, I might even need to leave up to 3 or 4 different scene prompts on it so that I have consistency of character. For instance, maybe scene 2 is trying to tell me that there are dead animals in this place or there are corpses around. So I still need to keep that scene prompt that has something to do with corpses, the one that has to do something with the environment, and add the new scene prompt to it. This way, there seems to be continuity in my story, and my character also seems to be consistent. Once you're done, create all your images. Download them to its folder, save them on a folder, perhaps even on your Google Drive. The next thing we're going to do, we'll go over to see how we can create our voiceover for our scripts. Remember, we already have our storyline or our script already. But even with that, I need an intriguing voice and I need a really amazing voice. And for this, we are going to be making use of NotebookLLM by Google. So I'll drop the link below, or you can just simply go over to Google and search for NotebookLLM. Once it comes up, you click on add. You have to use your Gmail address. You click on add, and then you click on paste. You'll see a place where you can paste your scripts. So copy the aspect of your story that you want and paste it. You can also decide to upload your documents. So for me, I just want to copy. So after copying it, I paste it. And within a few minutes, it's done pasting. So once this has been added, if you have other documents, you might need to deactivate the other documents and keep just the only one it is that you want by unticking them. And so the one that you want to use, you just tick it. After pasting your document in NotebookLLM, of course, next thing you need to do is to write in the prompt of what you want the AI to do for you, because NotebookLLM is an AI. So just like I did here, I'll tell it, please create a voiceover script for the audio you just uploaded. So once this is done, immediately it goes to work, and in a couple of seconds or minutes, my script is ready. Always also ensure that you write a one-person narration so that it does not create two-person narration for the voiceover script for you. Once you're done with this, edit or remove the things that you don't need out of the script created, perhaps at the beginning or at the top. In my case, I love to write chapter so that my audience knows when I've moved into a new chapter. Once I'm done with this, I copy the text and then I head over to Google AI Studio. For this, you can search it Google AI Studio, or you can use the link I've dropped in the description. Once this is done, paste the script in Google AI Studio and give it the following instructions of what it is that you want it to do. So once you're done with this, the next thing you need to do is you need to choose from a list of voices, and this time around you will choose single audio. After clicking on single audio, you choose the voices. You can listen to the various voices there. They are both male and female. For me, I have one that I love particularly. And truth be told, most of those voices really sound very human-like. Once you're done, you also have to give out the instruction for the tone. You have to tell the AI precisely, I need them to speak out aloud, or I need them to tell a horror-like story. you need to be very specific with what it is that you want. Once it's done typing the instruction, you paste it in and then you click on run at the bottom. Once the running might take a couple of minutes, and once it's done, your audio is out. So when our audio is done, we download the audio and then we'll save it. You click on the three dots there and you click on download, save it as, and put the name or chapter number or whatever it is that you want it to be. So when I'm done, I'll take it into my video editor. For the purpose of this video, I'll be making use of Premiere Pro. I will drag in my voiceover into Premiere Pro. Then remember I told you to save your images in a folder. I'll pick up the folder and drop it also on Premiere Pro. I really love to have my things organized. Then I go over to the folder, drag the images, arrange them perfectly well to suit what the voiceover, the places where they ought to be. And then you add your transitions or you add your effects. So if I want to add the same effect, I just copy and then paste it on all of them. When I'm done with this, I click on Ctrl M and then I choose my bitrate for exporting on Premiere Pro. Change the file format type to H.264. Also, don't forget to add the location for where you want your file to be saved so that after exporting, you know precisely. Also, that gives you the opportunity for you to rename it and at the same time, opportunity to save it so you know precisely what it is that is. So I can either add this to an encoder or I can click on export immediately. If I'm adding it to an encoder, I will make use of Q. If I'm exporting it from Premiere Pro, I will definitely make use of exports. So once I'm done with this, my story is out, and this is the result of what we just created.
Strong enough capital can one live well. Zhu Ke'er and Zhu Zhongqi, both dressed in white combat uniforms, followed Zhang Yi. Zhu Ke'er, smiling, remarked beside Zhang Yi, "It is said that the hot springs here are very good. If possible, I would like to go soak for a while later." The long voyage had been exhausting, and the prospect of land and abundant geothermal energy was appealing. She noted that hot springs are good for the body and can even keep women's skin young, resting her hand on Zhang Yi's shoulder. Zhu Zhongqi, observing this, felt a little jealous, recognizing that her relationship with Zhang Yi had not progressed much during the voyage, as he consistently kept his distance and a clear line between them. Suddenly, Zhang Yi's heightened senses kicked in. "Careful," he exclaimed, immediately deploying his passive ability, Severance of the Two Worlds, to protect those around him. The next moment, gunshots rang out. Human figures emerged from the snow in the distance, firing fiercely at Zhang Yi and his group, but all the bullets were swallowed up by the alien space, confirming they were just ordinary bullets, not from Inhumans. Zhang Yi quickly realized these were the island's dangerous elements that Snow Wolf had mentioned, intending to kill them and seize their ship, as the Jing Fang's arrival was too conspicuous. Zhang Yi, with a slight smile, decisively retaliated. He waved his hand, and all the bullets were shot back along the same path, causing heavy casualties and screams among the gunmen. He heard angry curses in his ears. The attackers belonged to a violent organization led by Kumbi, originally from a small Nanyang country.
If you want to see more of what we are creating, I've dropped a link to the channel below, and also at the end of this video, you will also see a link to the video. So do well to watch it, and then you see what we are creating over there. And at the same time, you get motivated. I'll still love you to subscribe to this channel and also to the one where we have our AI stories. And if you found this tutorial really helpful, drop a comment, let me know. Is there anything you feel that could be added or could be done better? Thank you very much for watching.